What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So we close out our conference tourney week previews with the SEC tournament, which kicks off on Wednesday, leading up to their championship on Sunday. Now, we're going to jump into this one. Now, we do have we have the Big 10, Big 12, ACC tournament, conference tournament brackets, and predictions up on the channel already. So make sure you check them out. But we're going to jump in here to the SEC tournament. But before you jump in, if you could, just hit that like and subscribe button down there. We'll have more college basketball content on the channel throughout this conference tournament week, throughout NCAA tournament, March Madness tournament as well. So just make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video. So let's just jump into this first game. Number 16 seed LSU versus number 9 seed Kentucky. I got Kentucky winning this one. Up and down year for Kentucky for sure. Had some really low lows, but had some nice wins throughout the year as well. I got them moving on to Thursday in this one. 13 seed Mississippi State versus number 12 Auburn. Auburn sitting right on that cut line. I think they make the tournament a little more interesting going into Selection Sunday. I think they get this win over Mississippi State to move on to Thursday. Ole Miss, number 15 seed versus number 10 Texas in this one. And I got Texas moving on to Thursday. Then lastly, for the Wednesday games, number 14 South Carolina versus number 11 Oklahoma. And I got Oklahoma in this one, moving on to Thursday. So starting out Thursday, Kentucky versus Missouri. And I got 9 seed Kentucky upsetting number 8 seed Missouri to set up a Friday matchup with the Gators. And Auburn versus Tennessee. I think this is Auburn's last chance to make a bid at getting into the NCAA tournament. And I don't think they do enough. I think Tennessee gets a pretty comfortable win there to move on to Friday. Next up, we have Texas versus Georgia. And I like Georgia to move on, set up a nice rivalry matchup on the football field, but also can be on the basketball field, court on Friday. Last game for Thursday, Oklahoma versus Texas A&M. And I got Texas A&M moving on to Friday. Then starting out Friday here, Kentucky versus Florida. And I think this one will be tight for a little bit, but Florida is kind of just peaking at the right time. Over the last couple weeks, seems like they've reemerged. They were sitting like a 2-3 seed probably most of the year. We've seen them a lot on the 1 seed and probably is that last 1 seed right now going into conference tournament week. But that is definitely up in the air. You know, Michigan State has an opportunity with that loss Sunday, you know, probably outside looking in, but definitely the last 1 seed is probably going to go to Florida, going to go to UConn, going to go to Michigan State, or potentially Houston as well. But I think Florida's sitting in a really good spot right now, and I think they win this game against Kentucky to move on to the semifinals on Saturday. Then we got Tennessee versus Vanderbilt, and I got Tennessee and Rick Barnes moving on to Saturday. And then what is usually a top 5, top 10 showdown on the football field, Georgia versus Alabama, this time on the hardwood. And I got Alabama moving on to Saturday. So then the last game of the day on Friday, I have Texas A&M versus Arkansas. And I just think Darius Acuff, he's just that guy. He's one of the best players in the country. Going to be a very high lottery pick here as well. I think he gets it done over Texas A&M to move on to Saturday. Then Saturday, we have Florida versus Tennessee. I think this could actually be a really good game. But I think Florida maybe a little bit too much late. As I said, they're just kind of peaking at the right time, it seems like. Over this last couple weeks, they've, you know, kind of begun, you know, that climb back up to a 1 seed. And I think Florida gets it done, moves on to the championship. And then that sets up Alabama versus Arkansas. We saw this game a couple weeks ago. I think it was double overtime. It was a really, really good game. And I think that we get another classic in this one. But I think John Calipari, Darius Acuff, and Arkansas get to the championship on Sunday, and that's Florida versus Arkansas. And in this one for the championship, Florida obviously definitely the experience here. Obviously, Calipari has the experience, you know, coach-wise, but Florida as a team obviously having just won the national championship last year. But I do think Darius Acuff provides a lot of problems for any team that plays Arkansas, and I'm picking Darius Acuff and Arkansas to win the SEC tournament. So anyway, that'll do it for this one. Like I said, I got Arkansas over Florida for the championship here for the SEC tournament. But like I said, we have the other major conference tournament previews up on the channel right now as well. So make sure to check those out. But that'll do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.